Take me home. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the final match of the Talon Cup Day 2. It is myself and Bemmy. I am Trinok, obviously. I've been with you guys the whole day. Bemmy is now subbed in. How is it going, dude? How has your day been?
My day has been fantastic. I've been casting all day, and I'm now switching over to Overwatch, one of my favorite games of all time. And it's just starting off with Busan, a beautiful new map that I'm still learning, and it's just going to be new experience for me all day. I love this.
Yeah, I'm also still learning this map. I mean, I think everyone's still learning this map. It's brand new, so how are we meant to know anything on it, Bemmy?
Well, I think right off the bat, from observing from the couple of matches that I did yesterday with Naori, I did notice that there is some very dive-friendly maps, because a lot of this stuff is basically they took Lijiang Night Market and they made it into 3 separate maps. There's a lot of familiar characteristics from that map that are sort of translated in here. This, I've noticed that dive with double flanking DPS is a very effective composition here, or just the standard death ball. I have seen a couple of experimentations with the 76, just due to the fact that there's, for whatever reason, people are trying to bring him back, because the pharmacy here is actually pretty strong because there's a lot of cover for them. And we're about to see probably what it seems like almost mirror death ball, except for differences in support, or never mind, they're just going to make me eat my words. It's going to be difference of DPS. Memes on the McCree is going to be a lot more of an effect. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to hold my breath.
Just wait like the
Hold
next
my breath.
10 seconds or so, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Exact mirror for mirror. That, well, I guess in the long run, if it's going to be exactly this, it's going to be basically who can get that early pin onto either DPS or support. You're looking for either the 76 or you're looking for the Ana. The Mercy is definitely a very crucial key component, but it basically, if you can just zone her out and not make her guardian angel to anybody, you're pretty much good in the long run.
Yeah, but straight off the bat, that Mercy is going to just be boosting the Pharaoh, Virgil is.
And memes, they're gonna probably just get ready to position there, and ooh, that's already a good kill off for them.
Yeah, Jeff and the captain's doing well to get onto the point first and just try to secure the chokehold, and it's kept, oh wow, it's kept Blur just off into the side from being able to get onto that point.
Sorry about that. Alarms, and Virgil's is doing a great job. Yeah, the pharmacy was really just pretty much uncontested, and getting that early kill onto memes was very good because there was no hit scan to be able to respond to that. And also just the supercharge. You know, it seems like Space Panda is sort of focused on making sure that Nito is healed, as opposed to sort of addressing them right away with a super boost, because they need that now more than ever, because now you can't just do splash damage with her. You need to be very specific in your aiming, and that kind of just sort of came into play for them, and that was very beneficial for the side of Jeff and the Kaplans.
Yeah, and it's, at the moment that you're kind of just poking against each other, no one's really committed to a full team fight yet. Especially, you know, Jeff and the Captains have out potential now. Earth Shatter. And a huge charge down. Managed to get Toxic Socks out of that situation. No more support for you. Skullduggery, Blur are just trying to make up and pick up the pieces of that Shatter. But is there going to be enough, as Virgil is with the barrage? Does get taken out for it, but gets one pick off. And it's actually working out in the favor out there for, as they find themselves only having to defeat the Zarya of Dobius.
Interesting call to drop the barrage, especially the fact that the ult economy was so high. They, just reading into it, if they even weren't accounting for the different amount of ults just coming in, they should be aware that they haven't seen any ults for a while now. So the ultimate bake is just looking really good for them to hold on to it. Jeff and the Kaplans just got to dry push and hopefully bait out some ults at this moment.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they are looking to do as they approach the side room. Going against Love, up potential Kubla gets a huge charge down onto Blur. He's not yet used that hammer down. Oh, there it goes. Blur now Earth Shatters. He has been running grenade. Memes has been nanoed. And he's just going to go ham. He has the attack visor. He has the nano. Why not just open fire and get as much kills as possible? Virgil is on the Tracer trying her best to stay alive. But Meme says no. I will meme you out of this.
Well, nicely done for them. They are... For Jeff and the Kaplan specifically, as they managed to get the Earthshatter almost online along with the Valkyrie. The Pulse Bomb is technically right around the corner as well, just because of how Tracer can quickly charge up that Pulse Bomb. The grab, they've done what they need to do, sure enough. They managed to bait out quite a good amount of ults. The Valkyrie and the Barrage are the only things left for the side of this bunch of letter and number teams. You ult F4. It looks good. Attack Visor, here it goes.
Yeah, this is the time that Necromonkey is going to be looking to get some good pickles, and he does get two. Vocalist with a huge pulse bomb supporting him in the back line. That is fantastic work, and essentially the whole team unable to even move at this stage.
They managed to turn around. They're going to take the lead right here, and they did drop quite a bit of ults. I'm kind of questioning about dropping the grab, because they did have a good pulse bomb double kill and they didn't drop the grab until afterwards. So now they are going to turn this around. It's going to be a very close 99 versus 99, because I feel like Alt F4 is going to be able to take this point back. But how long? Oh, that's a good sleep dart.
Yeah, Skullduggery does have the grab and does pop it, but Virgulus is looking in the backline, does see Togs, gets him out of the fight. That's bad for him. Space Panda popping that Valkyrie, just try to keep her team alive. Oh, but is she going to be able to, as Virgulus is still just uncontested on this Tracer. Meme in a bad situation, has Virgulus just firing him down. The rest of the team in a bad space. Kubla gets a nice charge up onto Skullduggery. He's out of the fight. The overtime counter is there, and this is something that they have to worry about. They have to get onto the point fast, or else it's going to be over as Blur tries to get an Earthshatter, and Kubla shuts him down right before he can do it.
Wow. That is so beneficial. Now the wick will go down. Jeff and the Kaplan's able to hold on to it. Nicely done. And I will say that early Sleep Dart managed to space out a lot of things and not get a lot of benefit for that barrage. The grab came so late that, you know, even when they dropped that barrage, it didn't allow them to find as many kills. And now moving on to what I don't know what this specific area is called, but I call it Hangar.
Yeah, it's called Mecha Hangar.
Oh, okay. Wow, nailed it.
Yeah,
cool.
Mecha Base.
Way
Sorry,
to go.
not Mecha Hangar. Mecha Base. Yes, we could just call it base. Yeah.
Base. Base is the place. And right here, this is a very strong Sombra map, and also May as well, as we'll see Toxin Socks on that right there. You can get the Ice Wall early pin for the Reinhardt, and then also just good zoning as well. And that's going to help cancel out a lot of Necros, just ridiculous Junkrat plays as well with the splash damage. Ooh!
Oh, but Kubla does get an early, does just bash Goga, and then the May Wall separates Kubla from the rest of his team. That is a beautiful work by Toxic Socks on this May, as Alt F4 have a huge advantage. Now's their time to go into the map and not press Alt F4.
That would be a very good idea, not to just drop those ults right away that they had worked on building. Mito almost at that Dragon Strike. That's going to be so good. And this Ice Wall is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Really, May is such a Swiss Army knife DPS. It does zoning, it does stun, it can heal themselves. It really does help out save the team. The Ice Wall is just multi-purpose, and really May, it's just an unsung hero of a not real meta, but could be contending for one.
Yeah, that Ice Wall's been really deadly right now. Tox in socks. Definitely put his socks on today. Oh, the Earthshatter from Blur gets the entire team. Now they need to capitalize on it. Mito 9's there and he's ready to go. Virgil is just backpedaling as fast as possible, and Dovius managed to survive with the skin of his teeth.
Monstrous Earthshatter there. There's not much to say there, Trinok, is that when this is sort of a little bit like Command Center, where you can take this fight to spawn and you'll be rewarded for it. Now they're going to go ahead and try to fight this point. Jeff and the Capitals will be able to turn around, but it depends on how they're able to turn it.
Oh, that Earthshatter with the Dragon Strike just to try to clear it out and capitalize on what could have been a bad situation. No kills, however. Kubla and Blur just smashing each other down. The Coalescence on Space Panda trying to keep Blur alive, but he's unable to keep him there. I think they need to have words later. Oh, and then a nano-boosted Reinhardt just smashing into the face of Moira, as Mito 9 is not happy right now. Kubla going for the charge once again, doesn't get the pin down on Blur. This is such an epic tank-heavy fight, Bemi. All of the tanks, all of the time.
24/7 tank that, well, I mean, it is Mecha Hanger, and who has the mech? It is none other than a tank themselves called Diva, so there is going to be a lot of tanks for you, but basically, Trinok, this is going to be so used for them. They managed to just eat through a lot of ults without dropping really any of their own, except for a huge Earth Shatter from Blur earlier, and now you got so much to go for. Blizzard, and then also the grab as well. There's just, Blizzard's really just sort of a wider grab that's able to cover amount of damage, and it will help out a lot, but Blur, gotta be careful. That was a good amount of purple. Ooh!
Oh, Blur gets Signet trying to get a huge Earth Shatter, and then Kubler responds with his own, and the Death Blossom into the Earth Shatter is massive! 2 down, and now they're on the point. The flip is theirs.
Flip is theirs, but now they have to pray that a sound barrier will be enough to go through roughly 6 ults. Coming around the corner for Space Panda. It's going to be hard to knock, honestly, but, you know, it is possible if they can manage to somehow stop Blur before they can drop the Earth Shatter, or stop the Blizzard from happening in some way. That could work.
Grav is out, the sound barrier goes down from Earthy to try to keep his team alive. Is it going to be enough, Bemi? We'll find out now. Dragon Strike through, no one yet to really go down except for Earthy himself. Nano Booster Kubler going to be looking for the hammers, but the Maywall puts him out of any danger area, and Blur just charges him down to a knockout. They're so close to a flip, and it's just being defended by Necro and Virgo Liz, who herself has to use that Shadow Sprint to try to get out of the situation. Kubler makes his way back. Nice charge down onto Toxin Socks, and this is definitely a fight that they've turned around in such a phenomenal manner, Bemi.
Phenomenal is the right word, Trenon. Very good use of the English vocabulary.
Thank you.
As they are just, no problem. Certainly stronger than NA to be TBH. Shots fired. But anyways, but seriousness, altogether, that was really good from Jeff and the Kaplans, and also a little overextension on the ult. They could have spaced that out a little bit more. Now there's a Blizzard coming down, but it's not going to find much in the way of results, and you see Dob is able to escape and good grab.
Memes with the Transcendence to try to enter into that fight does get caught in that grab, but it doesn't keep him alive for too long because the Transcendence goes off. Space Panda last alive. Dobius with the energy beam just gonna look at her and press that left click. Earth Shatter from Blur, not enough. Too little, too late. He tried his best.
And the best doo-wop band known to man, Jeff and the Kaplans, is going to take this because there was, unfortunately, there was a couple of ults on the side of Ult F4 where they dropped it. It was kind of, when they went the grab Dragon Strike and then they went also for the Earth Shatter, it kind of, that was so sick. It really did concern me because then all it left was the Blizzard from Talkin' Socks. Because after that, they went from Earth Shatter into a Coalescence, and then all you had was that Blizzard. Then the Transcendence came out at some point, but then like you didn't have that to respond, and they really went all aggressive out when they didn't have that much percentage on the point. So if it was closer near the end and they wanted to close it out, I would understand. But early percentages, the use of the ults was a little overextended at that point. But hey, that was still good execution either way.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, that sound barrier, I think that was the turning point. You said maybe the sound barrier is not going to be enough to carry them through. And it was. That sound barrier was the difference between Jeff and the Kaplans losing that fight and Jeff and the Kaplans suddenly at an out advantage on the point, backcapping it.
Yeah, and on top of that also, we also got to remember that this format of the tournament is people that are just recently working together and getting teamed up, yesterday? So, you know, this is a good, impressive amount of synergy from both sides. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt and just accept the fact that, you know, there may be wrong timings, but the execution is phenomenal, and you got to give props to that. I think this is a very wonderful showing from Alt F4, and I think Jeff and the Kaplans did a great job as well. Of course they did, because they did take the map.
I mean, they had time to practice 1 or 2 maps, but there's no chance to get synergy, map synergy. There's no chance to know on this map, for example, let's say Virgil is on the Tracer. There's no chance to know that Virgil is always going to do this route on the Tracer, get around into the backline. You just have to assume that that's possibly what she does, but there's no solid way of you knowing that in the week that you had to practice.
Right? Exactly. So, You know, in the long run, good stuff onto them for being able to just use the ults very, very sparingly, and ult F4 just dropping it right there. But the past is the past, and the future is now. It's Lijiang Tower moving into Night Market. I'm calling it. No command center. Dang it. Usually pretty good about that stuff, but command center, all right. Either we're going to see triple tank, triple support coming into play. The goats have been very popular, or we're going to see Death Ball with the Junkrat. With the Junkrat, is very, very crucial, especially to be able to get through that Reinhardt shield, pierce through bunch. Maybe you can get through the back lines. You can do a couple of weird angled shots that allow you to get those great initial kills on the support that kind of make it all for naught about those tanks. Looking at both sides here, I'm seeing the Slambulance come into play. Looks like a triple tank with 2 supports and DPS. 3-2-1 wham bam combo is pretty good. But I do like this Sombra coming out from Peace. We have seen Sombra slowly being worked in, and a lot of people making compositions around her. And this is looking really good. We're going to have a match pause real quick. I'm assuming because of that Discord issue that we were having earlier.
Yeah, it looks like there is a pause. You did mention something earlier that in this map you typically see the goats. And you're not wrong, but that's also in European and particularly in European Overwatch. South African Overwatch is a bit different. The goats isn't as popular, and especially when you're just having a fun tournament and then you're going to bring out something like a goats, most people are going to be like, why be so cheesy about it? So the teams here, I have loved that I haven't seen that much goats.
Okay, well, I mean, then don't look at the matches between me and Naori, because we had mirrored goats on this specific map.
Oh, wow, I'm not going to watch those matches then. Shame on you, South African Overwatch, with your goats.
Hey, goats, consider it as some way of becoming one together, as we share a universal composition.
This is true. This is true. But I do love that pieces on the Sombra. I love Sombra.
Yes, Sombra's going to be great, and I like that Talon Socks is also on the Sombra, as well as they just also faked me out.
Yeah, switched off onto the Lucio.
Yeah, but if they can get it on the, basically, if Peace can get the hack onto Junkrat, that's going to be great. Or memes as well. That hook is very important to Roadhog.
Alright, but the fight is starting off early as Blur goes for a charge. Gets a little bit of a split off, but does get Necro Monkey out of the fight. So, no more support for you, Jeff and the Kaplans. Who's going to be your backup singer now?
Either Kaplan, or Kaplan. The team fight is not totally gone yet, but they are going to get a D-Mech. So, honestly, at the moment, Kubla, very nicely done. They just managed to do a nice flanking maneuver earlier on, where it does go down.
Ooh, Earthy with the Coalescence, just trying to spam them down, get some health in, get some extra damage going. But it is not working out too well for them. Although Jeff and the Captains have managed to get onto the point and are getting some value out of it. Blur has the Earth Shatter, is going to be coming back into this fight very soon. And there we go, Earth Shatter down, Kubla gets hit. And the hammer is swinging, but he gets hacked, so now he's in a bad situation. Although Kubla's Earth Shatter misses him, but Kubla's still getting lots of value out of it for Jeff and the Kaplans. Now they get the flip, and now it's time for them to get the percentage.
Well, we certainly flipped that on over for Alt F4, and the fact that like Blur dropped that Earthshire was kind of a little bit surprising to me, because there wasn't much in the way of team fight that was happening, and I like the fact that they're not going to just take this fight to spawn. They're holding on to the point, and they're going to just let that drive push happen, because they know an alt fight's about to happen very soon.
Oh, the EMP from Peace, though, that could be huge for them. Space Panda gets eliminated, but the Riptire was there before the EMP went off. Meter 9 getting huge value out of that is going to create an opening for Alt F4, but the self-destruct forces them to scatter into the abyss as they try to get out of the way of that. Although not too phased are Alt F4, they do push Jeff and the Captains right off back to the flip. Flip-flop all the time.
Flip-flop all the time. It usually does indicate 99 versus 99s. Honestly, at the moment, just the fact that they managed to get that double kill in the Riptire and understood that they didn't need to drop anything more but just Talon Socks sound barrier allows them to now hold on to this point very comfortably. But you see Peace is going to sit here invisible to see what they can do, getting maybe initial hack. They are going to try to contest. Interesting call. They do fall back, but it does allow them to push him further. Great pin.
Oh, very good pin, but Space Panda is there with the Coalescence just to keep him alive. Oh, a nice grab on the wall, going to suck them up into the space. but no one there to just focus on the capitalize. Meteor Knight comes with a Riptire, and Obvious goes down. That is good use of ults, although Peace in the backline finding Blur, and now their own Graviton Surge. Still no capitalization on it. Memes coming out with that Mimi gun of the Roadhog, spamming the whole hog into the grab, does manage to get value and finds Peace in a jumping shot. That is phenomenal work on his part, although Virgil is now just eating that buckshot herself. Going to be looking to take care of Memes and make sure he has no more say in this fight. Not going to happen as they push Jeff and the Clappins once again back to that horrible choke point.
Yeah, just going to be backed up into the corner. This is pretty much a fight. Peace is not going to be able to touch it. And this was just another indication that this was a good read onto the side of Alt F4 as they were able to just hold on to some of these ults and understand that, like, right away they just weren't being pressured into anything. And honestly, I think at the moment the only thing that needs to happen is maybe a couple of, not composition changes, but maybe some different target prioritization, because they are immediately just going for the tanks, which is understandable because it is a very large, just formidable opponent right in front of you. You want to go for it, but I think honestly you should see if you can get Peace to flank, not just to contest the point, but just to also get some of the supports gone, because there was a lot of great openings to take out that Moira, and you know, and also the Ana as well, because the Ana could have the Biotic Grenade and that could just overwhelm the Nano Boost too. So you know, there was a couple of things that they could have done, not to say that they didn't do badly, but there's just things that could make it more optimal for them.
I think you are right though. Peace definitely was not at all a feature of that last map, and you definitely want the Sombra to be the feature. Even his EMP didn't have much else come of it. Oh.
Well, you know, we're probably not going to see the Moira come into this game, so you know we're going to see what happens. Sombra may possibly happen, but I think if anything we are definitely going to see a Pharah if that's going to happen, but at the moment support wise we're probably going to see maybe the Ana still stuck together, because the Sleep Dart is just so good, so freaking great on here, because if somebody does run dive, they do have the ability to Sleep Dart that right away, and it's just pretty much a straight shot if you go mid and night market. But, you know, we have to wait and see. The pauses are happening, and the anticipation, Trinok, I cannot handle it. Will Jeff and the Kaplans release a new single that's going to be hot and sweep the nation?
I hope
Or
so.
will
And
it be Alt F4 to control Alt Delete?
Oh, damn, dude, you're coming out with some really nice wordplay that I would never be able to match. It's too good for me.
Yeah, but you say bigger kid words, so that's how you outmatch me, and DC will come to play.
I want the next Jeff and the Kaplan single to be having fun in the night market.
That would be a
I think
good
it would be
one.
a good song.
I think 1 too many nerfs in my day would be a good one.
Don't mess with my May.
Yeah. I'm pushing the payload my way.
That would be a good one. It's
Yeah,
my way or
would-
the.
It's a very relatable topic. It really covers a lot of ground. Oh man, well those are good names of singles. What would be the album called? Would it just be called Hey Guys?
I don't know. Maybe like One Time in Lijiang. No, that's more of a single vibe.
Or maybe the album's called, you know, it's like, remember the time Reaper could heal himself?
I do. Do remember the time
but-
Reaper could heal himself.
I saw a video that was like, a lot of people are having trouble with the new Overwatch and saying it's really, really bad. Why don't we look back and there's just like a bunch of things like, Tracer could just infinite blink. Reaper could heal themselves after just killing somebody, and there was something else that was really broken with Reinhardt. But never mind, everything's all fixed now. Enough about reminiscing past and creating memes. We're gonna look at meme on this Hanzo.
I would
the
like
death
an
ball.
Infinite Blink Tracer back there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I broke Bemmy. Alright, Bemmy, break it down for me.
Capture the objective.
Well, we're gonna try. Double flanking DPS coming in from the death ball with this is gonna be very solid. There's no benefit with the grab. There is not a lot of firepower, so I think honestly Jeff and the Kaplans are gonna have a lot of an uphill battle. But getting an initial kill like that is gonna be great. But Meme's able to retaliate, stopping that hack right in dead meter strike. They need that hack so bad.
Yeah, that was a great hack, getting Meter out of the sky, and now he's in bad position. He's only got 5 health left, does get taken out. This is a good situation with Jeff and the Kaplans as they find themselves the only dominant force on the point, although Blur does do a big charge. Vocalist says none of that now. Toxin, Socks, and Skullduggery, last two alive for Altef 4, are trying to make sure that Jeff and the Kaplans cannot make this their next signal, but Skullduggery going down is bad news for Toxin Socks, who can't wall ride forever.
It's a good point, and the fact there is one thing I did forget to recount is that while there is a lack of firepower, they make up immobility. So the moment that anything happens, really them trickling in is just regrouping with the group while they're still doing the team fight. It's almost like they didn't run away, and the fact that they managed to hold on to that team fight and not overextend was really good. So now they are in a great position right now where they have close to their ults. They can eat maybe a couple ults pieces, and it's almost in the EMP. Ooh.
I was just about to say, Virgilus tried to get a pulse bomb off, no value, and then the pause came out.
You know what? Tracer said wait for it. Let's wait.
I'm currently stuck on a very good shot of the Sombra attempting to hack the Reinhardt, which could be huge if in unpause that's what actually happens.
That could happen. You know what also could happen is if this... I can't wait for the update where, like, if the game is paused, the audio just doesn't run for long, because, man, let me just tell you, the infinite wall ride noise is really annoying.
I have the sound of a hack about to go off, so I understand your pain.
Do you hear, like, a bunch of beep boops?
Yes. Beep boops. Beep boops and
So many.
whooshing sounds. It's actually quite a cool shot, if it wasn't for the sound.
Mine is absolutely boring because I'm looking at the wall with Lucio. Lucio's cool, the wall is boring.
Have you tried not looking at the wall? You know what they really need to do is in pauses allow
Paying
spectators.
attention to the game till when it pauses, I know when it happens.
But also let spectators move around during pauses. You know how cool it'd be to like see all the characters like frozen in time? Could like analyze them? Oh, it'd be so awesome.
Oh man, that would take so much coding.
Overwatch, Blizzard has a big enough team. They can do it.
Do they though?
I mean, just assume so. They're a AAA company and they only have like 4 titles that they take care of.
All of it goes into esports, Tren. Esports is the way of the future.
It's true. I agree. Esports is the way of the future, and hacking a Reinhardt might just be the way of the kind of future.
Yeah, Earthshatter's not going to come into play, and that's going to be great because Blur's going to be able to, if they stay alive and they have some support from Space Panda or Talon Socks, just sort of does a boost, then they're going to be pretty much safe and sound, drop the Earthshatter, and then just go ham.
No, Ham's someone else.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah. You can't go
They're
ham.
faster. You can't go ham because right now they're in Contender's Trial.
Yeah, right now they're casting elsewhere. How can we go someone who's not here?
Let's go Turkey.
All right, yeah, we can go Turkey.
Yes,
It's a nice
good
place.
alternative
Nice
to
country,
pork.
Turkey.
Turkey,
I wanna
Turkey's
visit
got
it one day.
They have a really good esports scene.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, they got the legendary Space Soldiers team to start off with. Their CSGO is very, very strong.
Oh, I was not aware. I mostly watch Overwatch or Rainbow Six Siege, and none of those teams are from Turkey.
Oh, Well, I mean, understandably so. I mean, as far as like Blizzard esports wise, I do know a couple of Hearthstone players from Turkey. But that's roughly about it. I'm trying to be as versed as I can in some esports. CS:GO being one of them, and just Space Soldier just happens to appear once in a while. They've won a couple of DreamHack majors actually.
Oh, that's a good title to have under your belt.
Yeah, so it's very strong, very solid
Ooh.
stuff.
All right,
Hey.
looks like we got a sub in. Here's Criminalis gonna be taking
Yeah.
over for. Who was it that disconnected? I'm trying to think. It was Peace. They've lost. No, I'm watching Peace. Oh wow, Bimmy, just ignore me.
Let's see, they lost one of their supports, so it was one of their 2 supports.
It is Earthy.
Earthy,
They
there
have
we go.
lost Earthy. So Earthy's out. Criminalis is in. 25% on the table. Oh, and there we go. Just straight back into it. Oh, and Peace gets Blur off the bat. That was beautiful. I was watching that hack for so long, I didn't even expect it to happen.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, and I thought they were actually going to stay alive, but Mito, it's fine. They were able to follow up with them, and that's going to hold on to it. They're able to flip it over. Definitely Kaplan's able to get 40%. That's going to be fine. And Criminalis on the Mercy. The Mercy Moira, I don't feel comfortable with. It doesn't really have good synergy between the main healer and the off healer. They don't necessarily complement each other like a Mercy Zen, but this could work out. They do have the Coalescence ready, and they're pretty much able to turn this around right away, but they need to basically get this pharmacy off the ground, and they need to get that Mercy out of the way. Ooh, a good EMP!
The EMP goes in, but it gets immediately eliminated by Meme, and Kublik just going to charge through, trying to take advantage of the EMP. Blur is low, does get support from his girlfriend of Space Panda. The couple just keeping each other alive, keeping each other through this fight all the time. Davius looking at Blur, trying to spam him down. But Blur is unfazed at this moment, and they managed to take advantage of what could have been a terrible situation for them.
It would be a terrible situation for them if they didn't, well, it wouldn't be as terrible if they didn't just drop all the ults right away. Jeff and Kaplan's also he's switching on over to the 76 just for hit scan. It's interesting. I guess it's because, it's understandable just because they're kind of pressuring in the spawn right now, and that, ooh, that Dragon Strike.
Yeah, Dragon Strike just to try to clear it out. Mito has got Necro Monkey in his sights. Does just spam him down with that rocket of the Pharah. And now there's a horrible fight that Jeff and the Captains do not want to be involved in. Alt F4 going to capitalize nicely on this. Although Virgil is trying her best to stay alive and keep that fight going.
Doing great. Mace to the face as well is going to be so solid. I think the Brigitte Mercy is also very good. Dropping the Valkyrie, interestingly enough, I think just to push on through. Looks like this is just going to be right around Earth Shatter.
That Earth Shatter does just blur out the way. Nice sound barrier from Toxin. Sucks to keep his team alive, and they are dominant in this performance. It looks like Li Shang Tao is going to go to Alt F4 at this rate. Jeff and the Craftlins just could not find their way back onto the point.
Yeah, they are going to be able to finally make it back there. Ooh, hold on, I'm going to give this to you, Trinak.
You don't need to give this to me because that barrage is just going to say no more fight left for you. Although Virgil is not yet giving up, refuses to go down without too much of a fight. Criminalis popping the Valkyrie to try and make it happen. Unfortunately, nothing left in it.
That's just what happens when one of your teammates has to come in last minute. Understandably so. Good save from Criminalis. They did their best they can. But honestly, I think if Earthy didn't leave, Jeff and the Kaplan's might have been able to take that map. But overall, good stuff. Great target prioritization with the Earth Shatter as well. They kind of waited until they did see Peace or one of just flanking DPSs coming out, because they stop it dead in their tracks. And once they get that out of the way, that's one member down, and they're not being distracted by their backside. They're just only going to be worried about their, what's in front of them. They don't have to just it's just good target prioritization is basically what it comes down to.
I definitely think you're right about Earthy being a factor in them not being able to retake or get back on the point, because they were in such a great position right before the pause, and after the pause it all just fell apart. A new player, you gotta rethink everything, how you are approaching, how you're strategizing, and as we said before, these teams have been thrown together they don't really know each other that well, and then you take someone that you have been playing with throughout yesterday and throughout the day, and you throw in someone new. It's really just a horrible giant spanner in the cogs of your team.
Yeah, it's hard to jump back into that, but Alt F4 taking that map. We're going to map 3. I guess it's a good thing that Jeff and the Kaplan's 2-0'd earlier.
Well, it's a 2-0 versus 2-0. So both teams getting a nice 2-0. Let's see if they decide to go back to a Watchpoint Gibraltar, because the story of today, for me at least, has been Lijiang Tower and Watchpoint Gibraltar after Busan. And there we go.
That's the case.
It is the case. Watchpoint Gibraltar, once again, back to a map that I wish I didn't have to see.
You don't like Gibraltar?
I like Gibraltar. I don't like Gibraltar 3 times in a row.
Oh, you know what? Big mood.
The map picks
that's-
today, obviously Busan forced, and then every game has been Watchpoint Lijiang. So at least they threw a spanner in the works this game and put Lijiang before Watchpoint.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, I'm not against Lijiang as well. But and also Busan being a new map, it's very exciting to see, and I don't mind it. Casting a lot of that map, it does allow you to get more information as a caster, so you can do cool things with that information. But either way, Watchpoint Gibraltar, I'm gonna say Jeff and Kaplan still have potential win here, just due to the fact that I think they are going to have looking at the hero pool just based off of impressions alone from the last 2 maps, they look like they have a more comfortable time running dive than Alt F4 would, as they have ran a few of the DPSs that usually go for dive. So now it's a matter of whether they go dive or counter dive. But I think I'm going to be in heaven now because I'm seeing Bastion.
You know, well, I mean, it's that first 30 seconds where everyone just kind of memes away. What I like about doing multiple maps, doing the same map multiple times, is I get to find really interesting angles I can bring the stream into.
Oh yeah, angle. It's a beautiful sunrise that you can like show the people over here with the lighthouse on Gibraltar. It's a
Yeah,
ship,
I'm actually looking at it right
delivers
now.
cargo. Yeah,
I
it's
think
beautiful.
I think I should become a producer. Give up this casting gig.
I mean, Mushu has said wise words to me that many people have created their opportunities just by doing both. So you could very well just become a caster producer and treat it just like CS:GO as well, and none would be the wiser, and you would make $1 million in a gig every time. But looking at the roster right now, we are going to see the Symmetra Bastion on attack. I'm going to hold my breath here, so we're just going to mainly look at what's on defense. It is Deathball with accents of dive, meaning there is the Widowmaker, the Ana, 76 also just in that case, and I guess they're trying to read into the Pharaoh, but they are not expecting to read into Protect the President at the moment. Look at it go.
What is the president? Just explain that for anyone who might not be aware of what that is.
So Protect the President is basically, Bastion is the president, and the president is the one where specifically Roadhog Orisa is run, where Pirate Ship is the Orisa Reinhardt.
Ah, okay. Well, learn something new every day, and the president gets put to sleep. So now Mito is just gonna have a nice nap on the payload, as he doesn't have to worry. His team's cleared out the rest of Jeff and the Captain.
Get down and take a few minutes, Mr. President. We're just going to get to our next point quite safely, as they have just done an absolute great job. That early hook from Skullduggery is just going to be so huge, as that managed to take out one of the DPSs right away, and very important DPS that now I'm seeing the Sombra. That's going to be great response, and they are going to change their roster the moment that this doesn't work effectively. But there is something great about the Brigitte coming in there that does manage to stop the Sombra and allow the Bastion to focus. So potentially that is just the counter itself. Ooh!
Oh, Kubla does jump onto the payload though, and he gets a charge up on the Bastion. The president is down, Demi. He is down, and he is no longer proud. As Blur just tries to challenge Kubla with the Orisa, and does manage to have some success with our skullduggery, forcing Jeff and the Captains to kind of have to reset and rethink their approach. I'm sorry
Yeah,
I
I mean,
yanked that from you.
No, that's fine. You absolutely should, because that was pretty nuts. As that was yanked right out of the opportunity of trying to take this back. The Dragon Strike coming in. Wow, memes.
Kubler just backflipped onto the payload. Needs an 9 put to sleep, but they do get the second point.
Ah, this is so good. This is so solid. I do really like this, and the Bastion just pushing on the payload is so good. Especially with the fact that at the moment they do have tank mode, and they're just holding on to it. It's really good because now they need to they're able to hold on to it rainy day, get close quarter. Necro going on the Junkrat, I honestly don't think this is the best idea. I think going a Tracer or some flanking.
The Earth Shatter goes down, the Nano Boost is on, the Reinhardt is angry and he's looking to swing his hammer. As there we go, configuration attack finally comes up, does only manage to find Necromonkey, although this is looking good for Jeff and the Captains and trying to hold this defense and stopping a potential snowball. And as I say that, Alt F4 just completely capitalizes and decimates the tank line of Jeff and the Captains.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Amita switching on over to a Genji is a great idea, just because that also adds a lot of flanking and deflecting. That's going to be good, but oh, look at this EMP.
The EMP is ready to go. Doesn't actually find much value, though.
Ooh. Okay, memes.
Wow.
Score.
Well, speaking of hacks, I call hacks on that.
So, you said EMP, and I thought, oh, did I miss an EMP? It was actually Virgo Liz had just switched onto the Sombra, or did I actually miss an EMP?
There was an EMP earlier that just happened right before the Dragon Strike, and it didn't find anybody.
Yeah, that's what.
And
It was weird.
it was very, yeah, it was weird. It was everybody was far out and spread enough, just enough.
It's an unfortunate EMP from Virgo Liz. But they have an opportunity to do this a bit better than Alt F4. Perhaps show them how it's done.
Well, right now, I think what needs to be done is just that they did hero. Oh, it's all good. Hero switching was kind of offbeat and off time with a bunch of stuff. Like, they did do right by switching over to the Sombra, and also just switching their supports as well. I think we saw a switch from the Moira onto the Ana, and I think that was a great idea as well, but I think it was a little too soon, too late. It was very close to the end, so now we're going to see how this works out. Pirate Ship once again, or protect the no, it actually is Pirate Ship coming into play with the Reinhardt, and this is going to be a good idea. The Shield Bash is going to come into play. They're going to give them Taste of Their Own Medicine times 12, but I do like this Diva. It does add pressure, and they're able to retreat back to the Orisa.
Moving down, Pirate Ship set, ready to go, double shield. This is very cheesy from Jeff and the Captains, but they just want to be able to push through. This is their cheesy single.
He was able to get an early kill onto that. Wow, but Mace to the face does manage to even things out.
Alt F4 doing well to deal with this. Blur is going to be spammed down by Necromonkey with the Bastion. Skullduggery about to get demeched. Isn't going to be in a good situation shortly after that. And Tox and Sox and the rest of the team just try to converge on him to keep him alive. Team wipe for Jeff and the Captains. Very good situation for them as they're getting a lot of free push. Although Memes is going to try come back and stop it out, Benny.
I'm going to do the best they can, Memes and the rest of the gang that are switching heroes at the speed of lightning. See what they can find results of. Not going to be a lot of ults, and they could run with that very, very well.
Yeah, the Mei has come out to stall. Just cheese from both sides. The Bastion's going to be looking to get the Mei out and does manage to win that fight. First capture is on Jeff and the Captains. Gotta go fast.
Well, Sonic's the name, speeds their game. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Tracer, as they are also very ready to get that pulse bomb. But the Bionic Grenade, oh my god. Come on. Trinout, this is some top tier plays right here from the Ana, but they do manage to go down. very quickly. I think honestly at this moment they just need to find they need to go Sombra and just get some hacks off really quick.
Yeah, it could work with them. Although the pirate ship on the side of Jeff and the Catalans definitely doing well. Kubler is sitting on that Earth Shatter, and there we go. Does pop it off. Blur goes down as a result. And that actually wasn't Kubler's Earth Shatter. That was Blur's.
Yeah, very interesting. Ooh.
Clears out that pirate
for a second.
Oh, there's a nano boosted Reinhardt, and he's got the Earth Shatter when needed, but he doesn't need it. It's gonna hit down Blur. Space Banner trying to keep him alive as long as possible. Blur does eventually fall, and then followed shortly by Kubler himself.
Yeah, pretty much the team was down and there was not much of follow-up, but now they are also a little bit staggered. I'm a little bit worried for Virgo as they are just going to go ahead and be a little overextended. They could go down at any minute and they do so. I just honestly, Supercharge is a good idea, but there's also worry about the Blizzard.
That was a beautiful Blizzard, well placed by Meto9, catches a lot of them, but then an Earth Shatter in the back from Kubler is going to get some value and stop them from capitalizing on a great Blizzard. Blur, low on health, just Toxin Sock, just punch him in the face, unable to do so, although eventually manages to get him out with the help of Virgulus, who has switched out onto this Widowmaker.
That's not a Sombra. They need to get the hacks off right away to stop some stuff. Like, honestly, I think while Widowmaker is usually just a strong choice, there's not a lot of things that go down right away in one hit. Memes and the supports will be pretty much it, and that's even not great. But they managed to find Mito, so that was my biggest concern because the Mei would have been a great counter, but at the moment they're doing fine.
They are indeed doing fine. Not great, but fine. Charge down, 2 Reinhardts, bashing heads once again. Kubler just trying to get a fire strike off there, just try to find some value. Blur has been nano boosted though, and is going to be looking to get the heavy damage out. Skullduggery way out of position, converged upon, and now there's a second nano boosted Ryan in the field. He has to get to the fight shortly, else he's going to run out of time to use the nano. And this is a great hold from LTF4 though. They've held them for so long, there's hardly any time left for Jeff and the Captains to do much to get their heads back in this fight. Memes just going to continue to stall them out.
Memes are just going to stall them out indeed, and I think this is very impressive. They managed to bring down 2 minutes 10 seconds, but I think also just the fact is that An is so strong. Oh my god! Huge Earth Shatter right there.
Out F4 are unmoving with 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes to go, and what they need to do is they just need to keep holding this position and just start building an alt charge, not in an aggressive way, but just as a offense defense way, in the sense that they need to just sort of take pot shots at the top, see what they can do from distance, and not overextend. Hugging this payload allows them to just sort of let them come to you and play their own game. But ooh.
Nice Earth Shatter followed shortly by the self-destruct, which does get Meto9 out of the fight. Not much else on. Virgulus finds Space Panda, and they have an opportunity to get onto the point. Toxin Sock going to keep stalling. As long as Memes is up at top, memeing around, he might be able to hold them off, but the Helix rockets prove too much for him.
Looking good, and they finally managed to be able to do it. Yeah, that's that second choke in Hanger, legit Hanger, is just sort of hard to... it's hard to get through because there's so much high ground advantage for the side defense that can even stop the game right there. Now 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They don't have a lot of time to work with technically. They have maybe 2 or 3 pushes with alt charge 4 to 6, but Nano Blade coming in.
Oh, the Nano Blade is on! And there we go. 2K. Can he get one more just before it runs out? No, unfortunately not, but it doesn't matter. He's done the damage. He's done the work. Alt F4. Just stopping Jeff and the Kaplans before they can even get into studio.
Yeah, absolutely not going to have any record signings at the moment, but we will see what they can do. They might get a call back. They have to wait and see. At the moment right now, it's looking like that there's going to be strong contenders from the Alt F4, especially with the fact that they only Nano Blade and still have 4 ults left. Blur dropping a Earth Shatter when they find a pressure point for Kubla's shield will work great. And they might just use that with the well, the Tag Visor might be able to stop this, but Necro...
Oh, there's the grab and the Dragon Strike going to come through, and that's going to clear them out. Like you said, that Tag Visor could have been deadly, but it was unfortunately had little to no effect, and the rest of the team just converged. Great ult usage from Altef for poor ult usage from Jeff and the Kaplans, but they are desperate and they are fighting hard.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, you feel the pressure usually at this last minute stage, but they need to know that they now just used a bunch of ults, and they could potentially use this as an opening because they have technically the advantage, especially with that rally.
Yeah, the rally is out now. They have the extra armor. They are going to be moving on, but the
Oh
nurse
my
shattered
God.
down. That is great. Very
Everybody.
well played by Blur. He gets basically the whole team. Burger is having a little battle with
Anthony's
Meter9
back.
in the backside, and no one is on the payload yet. The payload has not moved for quite some time, and they have 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to get the payload to the position needs to be. The May wall is out. Necromonkey. Interesting choice on this May, Bimmy.
They are... I really like this idea of the dive, but it is a little too soon, too late. They are pushing on through, and that biotic grenade will help a lot, but the zoning from the Dragon Strike and getting a kill is going to be very useful. Oh my God.
Ooh, Pulse Bomb finds
Oh.
Space Panda. That is great. Some great stuff as they're inches away from getting this point. The wall comes out just to try to stop them, but the Meteor is now nanobladed, and he's looking to get rid of Peace. Does find him. Unable to find anyone else though, but he's done the work. That's in. There's no more supports left in this fight. The wall is going up as he's trying to keep his team alive so hard. Necromonkey just fighting and fighting and fighting, but they don't have to stop Meteor9 from getting into this backline and just shutting them down at every moment. And there we go. Dobby is going down. The overtime counter is finished. Meteor9 uncontested really just pulled his team through the end of this last fight.
Yep, and that was basically a sign of good ult usage. You know, Alt F4, not just a good name, but also good ult economy, as they managed to just sort of prioritize. Pretty much what they did is they prioritized the Nanoblade every time to be a win condition, which not necessarily a good idea to invest that combo to be your sole win condition. But oh wow, that was so sick! What a pog.
We got to see that EMP just stop right before his face as well.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's so close. We may have seen a different story, but literally in the long run, they used the ults as sort of more zoning and making sure it was a good opening for the Nanoblade to come into play. So really, they just when charging ults isn't your concern, you're just concerned making sure that there's a good opening for your Genji. It was such a good mentality to go into. But honestly, great stuff from both sides, and it was really fun to see this.
Yeah, this was a great game. Both sides really proving that they came here to fight as hard as possible. And that's all you can ask out of a tournament like this, is that both sides are ready to just give it their all.
Yeah, give it their all. And speaking of giving it their all, thank you to that wonderful sponsor of yours for giving it their all.
That is true. Thank you to Attack Shack and Nostalgia E-Liquid for helping us put this tournament together. The guys over at Competitor Overwatch South Africa as well. Everyone here in South Africa just trying to make Overwatch something big. And we really do thank Attack Shack and Nostalgia for being the two guys that hopped on board when we approached them with this weird concept for an off-season tournament. And I love the fact that everyone in South Africa is so hyped about Overwatch.
I really got to see the scene down there. It looks like a lot of fun and good community.
It is a really good community. So, you know, if you're a South African Overwatch player and you don't know this community, join it. Because we want more players. We need you.
Do it now. More friends, merrier.
More friends. More people for me to shout about.
Exactly.
Bimmy, it's been great.
It's been great too, Trinak. I had so much fun, and it was very cool to witness a very underdog scene in my eyes. And I hope to see it just at some point get its own open division.
I don't think we'll get to that stage quite yet. What I want is just for us to have a stage when people put esports stages in South Africa. I want them to go, then we need an Overwatch stage too. That's what I really want. You know, open division, we'll give it 10 years.
in esports time, that's like in 10 weeks. So in 10 weeks, see you at the Overwatch stage in South Africa.
Well, then I would want an Overwatch stage in 1 week. So 1 week for Overwatch stage, 10 weeks for Open Division.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. 10 weeks for an Open Division where technically Open Division is over. Okay, I like this. I like the ambition. I
Off-season
appreciate
Open Division can be a thing.
it. You know
You
what?
don't rule our
It
lives.
sure can. I ain't in charge of Blizzard. Blizzard can do whatever the heck they want. They're good folks.
And they're probably going to.
They can do it.
But yeah, Bemi, any final words on these two teams? Altair just edging out Jeff and the Kaplans in a dominant performance in the final map. Fortunately, Jeff and the Kaplans played fantastically, just not fantastically enough.
I think they did exactly like you said, and I think honestly, if they want to stick together as a team, I wouldn't be against it as long as they keep the name. And just gotta be careful to not drop as many ults right away. If you think you're gonna win a team fight with these ults, don't use the others to follow up. I think that just comes with time and synergy. But in a tournament format like this style, it is they played the most optimal way that they can.
Indeed, that is true, and it was an exciting match and a great experience, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tronok. Bemi, say goodbye to the wonderful viewers out there as we hand over to the end of day 2. So we're not handing over to anyone, we're just kind of leaving.
Yeah, well, we hand it over to the fates of South Africa Overwatch, and we'll see you guys soon.
Later.